In this episode of Home Theater Geeks, I answer a question from Carl Lundgren, who wonders why directors like Denis Villeneuve makes movies for IMAX when he knows that very few people will actually see them as he intended. I've got a few thoughts, so stick around.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Hey there, Scott Wilkinson here, the Home Theater Geek. I'm answering a question this week from Carl Lundgren, who writes, "Really enjoyed your review of the new Dune movie, but your discussion of the type of cinema required to see the movie as intended had me stumped. Why would a director shoot a movie in such a way that it requires a very specific, rare cinema to experience the movie at its best, when the director knows full well the vast majority of cinema goers will never see it that way? Whether it be distance, seating availability, or sheer cost, I would guess over 90% of people who see Dune 2 will watch it in a typical multiplex cinema. I'm all for directors getting the best they can out of a movie, but knowing most people will never see your movie as intended must be deflating. I'm in Australia, and as far as I know, there's only one IMAX theater with the right specs in the whole country, the IMAX Melbourne Museum." Well, Carl, I share your frustration, and it's a really interesting question that I will attempt to answer here, at least with my own thoughts about it. Actually, though, let me correct you. There are two IMAX theaters in Australia. The IMAX Melbourne Museum, which you mentioned, which must be attached to a museum, hence the name, and the IMAX Sydney, which has a really amazing building. I love that building. They both have a 1.43:1 screen and dual laser projection. So they can show Dune 2 exactly as the director intended. But your point is very well taken. Unless you live in Melbourne or Sydney, it'll be very difficult for anyone in Australia to see this movie as Denis Villeneuve intended. On the other hand, I did look this up. About 20% of the country's population lives in Melbourne, and roughly the same in Sydney. So that's about 40% of the country's entire population that, in fact, could see this movie as the director intended relatively easily. But if you live in Perth or anywhere else in the country, you're not going to go all the way to Melbourne or Australia or Sydney, I'm sure, to see the movie. And worldwide, I'm sure the percentage is much lower than that. So why would Denis Villeneuve, Christopher Nolan, and other directors shoot their movies, at least in part, on IMAX cameras and produce them to be seen ideally in IMAX theaters, knowing that the vast majority of moviegoers are never going to see them that way? Ultimately, we need to ask the directors. I have not seen an interview in which they specifically address this question, but I can speculate. So here it is. The first thing that came to mind was artistic vision. The IMAX presentation is huge, which it definitely fits a sweeping epic like Dune 2 or Dune 1, Dunkirk, or any of the others. The aspect ratios, as we can see here, for a regular movie theater is about 2.4:1 standard. IMAX presentations typically switch between 1.9:1, which is quite a bit taller, to 1.43 to 1, which is taller still. So you get a greater immersive sense with a lot more information above and below what you would see in a standard theater. In the next graphic, we can see another example of that, where on the left is an IMAX 1.43 to 1 aspect ratio, and you see a whole heck of a lot more in that image than you do in the standard screen on the right, which is 2.4 to 1. The guy flying around in the background, you just see the bottom half of him in the standard screen, but you see the whole thing in the IMAX screen, along with a lot more of the people in the foreground. So that is, if your artistic vision is one of wanting to really see things on an epic scale, the IMAX theater is going to do it. A similar thing happened with Cinerama. You remember Cinerama? It was in the 1950s and 1960s. They didn't expand the screen vertically, but they expanded it horizontally. In fact, it was a deeply curved screen around the audience, and it took 3 projectors projecting a third each of the image, and they had to be synchronized, and it was a big, complicated thing. It was stunning. I remember seeing How the West Was Won as a kid at the Hollywood Cinerama Dome. And it was like, whoa, that's amazing. Now, Cinerama was developed in response to the competition from television at the time, 1950s and 60s. They wanted to have something that you couldn't get on TV. Well, even a conventional cinema, you couldn't get that on TV in the 50s and 60s, but this was way beyond that. So is IMAX in response to conventional theaters? It's a good question. I don't really know, but there could be a parallel there. So another thing that directors might want to do is use the best possible image capture and presentation tools that are available. Many say that IMAX cameras are the best available. They certainly use the best film, or in the case of digital, they use a very high pixel count capturing system, and the theaters are among the best in the business. I tend to prefer Dolby cinemas because of their even deeper blacks. Although they have a conventional aspect ratio, 2.4 to 1. So you're not seeing the height that the director intended. Some directors prefer film, especially 70 millimeter film. And Christopher Nolan, I'm looking at you. You're one of the few directors in Hollywood that really wants to maintain film. Now, there aren't many film cameras left, nor are there companies making film stock even. So this is one reason, I'm sure, why Christopher Nolan and others are shooting on IMAX, because that's about the only option left for film. Now, I personally strongly prefer digital capture and presentation. I don't like film presentation because film, even 70 millimeter film, even in an IMAX projector, it can be juddery. After a few passes through the projector, there are scratches. I just really prefer a digital presentation. So that's just me, If you like film, if you're a film purist, IMAX is really the only way you're going to see it. So, and the directors know that. Then there's an issue that might be a bit controversial. I call it elitism. Perhaps the directors who use IMAX do so because they can. These are the top directors in the world. And they have access to these tools that lesser directors don't. Maybe they like feeling superior to these other directors, second string directors. May not be true at all. I honestly don't know, but it is something that occurred to me. And maybe maybe they're happy that only a small percentage of the audience will see it that way. We'll see it in IMAX because it gives them bragging rights. And so, there are people who will say, oh, see, I saw it in IMAX and you didn't. Anyway, that's a cynical view of it. I will hang most of my hat on, artistic vision and using the best tools available. And in the case of Christopher Nolan, at least, being able to shoot on film. Now, if I ever get a chance to ask any of these directors why they do this, you can bet I will, because I really want to know. Why are they making movies in a way that most people won't get to see? They'll get to see a truncated version. It's a really great question, and I hope to learn the definitive answer someday if I ever get to interview any of those guys. Now, if you want to see and hear my review of Dune Part 2 on Home Theater Geeks, check out episode 424, which has that review. There it is right there. And I did think it was a great movie. I did not see it in IMAX because IMAX is an hour away. The nearest IMAX theater that could show it that way is an hour away from where I now live. One of my very few regrets of moving out of LA is not having easy access to Dolby Cinema, IMAX dual laser, all those great formats. Now it's a real effort to see them that way, and I didn't happen to in that particular case. Maybe some other movie I will, because I am a big advocate for seeing movies as the director intended. So I like to try to do that. I put some effort into doing that when I can. So anyway, it's an interesting question, and it is food for thought for sure. Thanks for sending it in. Now, if you have a question for me, you can send it along to htg@twit.tv. And you can send it in written form or an audio file or a video file. If you send one of those, I'll play it on the air because I do love to get those. And as always, we thank you for your support of the TWiT network with your membership in Club TWiT, which lets you see the graphics that I so lovingly put into the show. If you're listening to the audio, great. Love to have you. Thanks so much for being here. But if you want to see the video and the graphics, join Club TWiT. And that also lets you come into the Discord channel and watch us make the show live. So I hope you will consider it. Until next time, geek out.